All right. Well, Cengiz, welcome.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, thank you for the invitation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I think we're going to do something really fun today. We're going to go back to home video games that defined our childhood. And I think we're around the same age. We'll do introductions and find out. But basically, what were really the awesome video game styles that really impacted us from the 80s and 90s. And to me, these might not be like the top rated games of all time, but these are the games that maybe in a time in my life really impacted me. I have strong memories on. Maybe it was playing the games with somebody or just the revelation of the technology or the combination.
Yeah.
But just to kind of go through that and go through the ages. So starting from the early 80s, which is like I was, 5, 6, 7 years old when I started having my initial memories of video games.
Alan, you look younger than me, man. I think you look younger than I'm 46.
Oh, thank you. I am 49.
Okay.
But thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Most welcome.
And
all right.
yeah, and go through that. So, maybe we should do introductions just so folks could find out a little bit about us, our childhood, where we grew up, because a lot of it, especially in the 80s and 90s, there was obviously no internet, and what the information that we get access to, what games and systems, all I'm sure may have been different in terms of the microcultures of video games in those early days.
Yeah.
So with that, maybe Cengiz, if you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your family, your background, where you grew up and such.
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation, Alan. I really appreciate it. I love talking arcade, retro, all the old stuff from the 80s and 90s. My name is Cengiz. I'm born in Denmark, grew up in Denmark, close to Copenhagen, and I love Denmark. I want to move to US. My son is 15. He wants to be an actor. So when he's ready, we will move to US and I will come in with 400 pinball machines to US and everything. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, I'm from Denmark and I'm having a blast, man. 2026 is awesome. I'm into arcade gaming, pinball games, and these old memories. Machines like these, we're gonna talk about it. Yeah, yes. It's different in the United States, right? It doesn't look like this.
No, that more looks like what we call like Super Famicom, but it's a Super Nintendo on it. Okay,
it's a Super Nintendo. Yeah. But it's just different looking. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's awesome, man. Well, I want to ask you first. How did it start with you? What did you see for the first time in your life, and were like, what is this?
So I grew up in New Jersey. So this is for folks. So hopefully we want folks all around the world to see this and kind of give their thoughts. And do they align with you or me, or maybe they have a different experience? So I grew up in New Jersey, which is on the East Coast. I'm 49. So by the early 80s, I maybe by 5, 6 years old, 82, 83, this was kind of coming into awareness and such. But I did have an older brother. And he was really the cause of my early video game experiences. And I would say, and again, I think your siblings also, in terms of making early memories, impact video games. So my brother he grew up, he was 7 years older than me. So he got in the early 80s, was into really like the Commodore 64 and, yes. So this is before I think we may have had like the Atari 2600 and things like that, but it was really the Commodore 64
came out in 82.
Yeah. And the earliest memory I had was sitting with him up in his room, the second floor, playing a game called Zork. It was a text-based game. It was, I think you're just based in a dungeon. So you're going in this dungeon, and the only thing is it's almost like a Dungeons and Dragons game where it's describing the scene in text, and then you're saying the actions like go north, go south, and you're just kind of unfolding the game from there. It was so simple, no graphics, but it really just pulled us in.
Yeah, tell the listener, because I have younger listeners now. They have no idea what text-based is.
Yeah.
No idea. Just explain how it was.
Yeah, so the it was basically a program. It would give you a description of the environment in text. For example, you walked into a dungeon. It's dark. There's some dark eyes glowing in the corner.
Oh,
What should you do? And then you have to type out the action,
yeah.
and you couldn't just type. It wasn't like AI where you just type out anything. So it was programmed to allow certain commands, but it was, I think, to me, I was surprised how intelligent it was. So I would say, and they might say, oh, there's an axe in the corner. You could say, grab axe.
Yeah.
And then it would say, okay, you're grabbing the axe. As you grab the axe, the glowing eyes come closer to you. So this is back and forth, and it's all in your mind. So your graphics are in
Oh,
your
yeah.
head.
Yeah.
So that was
You needed to write go west, open
exactly.
door, write
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
command down, not
Yeah.
just pointing somewhere. It was
No, no.
different. Had to use your imagination, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I that was my first experience, and I just remember as a kid, even like, oh my gosh, it's all pictured in your head and getting scared or excited just
Yeah.
by the text on the computer screen.
Awesome.
Yeah. How
Well,
about you, Cengiz?
my experience was a bit different because, in the 80s, growing up, you were just outside playing with your friends, on your BMX bikes or skateboards, just having fun. We didn't just sit at home and look at Instagram stuff, It was
Yes.
very different, very much more free will. I miss those days. But one of my friends got badly injured on his skateboard and he had to be home for a couple of months. He couldn't come to the school. So a couple of days later, without my friend, I missed him. So I visited him. So we're there. He couldn't use his right hand and arm and everything. So in walks his dad with 4 bags with computer stuff. I didn't know what a computer was. He didn't either. And this was maybe 1986. I'm 6 years old. There is a Commodore 64 inside. Now, this is the version G. This is the one that I bought back then. But he had the real, brown one from 1982. Commodore 64. And we were both like, what is this? So his dad and his dad's friend, they connected everything, RF to the TV, CRT TV and everything, turned it on. We got this classic blue screen with basic and 64 kilobytes of RAM and everything. And with a 1541 floppy disk drive, we didn't know how to do this. So he called the guy he bought it from. It was used. So he came over and the first game he loaded was Last Ninja on the Commodore 64. If you know that game, if you know the music of Last Ninja or Last Ninja 2 from 1986, we were like blown away. I mean, that was an amazing experience. From that on, I fell in love with the Commodore 64 and we didn't have the money for floppy disk drives here in most of Europe. We use cassette tapes, but I know in US, you dropped cassette tapes very early on and you had the 1544 floppy disk drives,
Yep.
but it was so expensive over here. So we had all these cassette tapes. At school, we went to our teachers or other kids at the school. So we borrowed these cassette tapes from each other, also from our teachers. And we copied these games, free games, copy. So we had thousands of games. It was amazing times, man.
So that game, I admit I've not heard of it. I'll have to look it up for sure.
Oh,
Just describe it. Like, what do you do? And is there graphics on the screen?
look.
So is it one step ahead from my Zork or the
No.
text
This
based?
is revolution compared to Zork.
Okay.
Like 95% of the listeners of this show, when they hear Last Ninja 2 on the Commodore 64, they will start hearing the music from the SID chip. The legendary SID chip, the 6581. It's amazing. So when you watch a YouTube video, check out the intro music, also in-game music. So you are a ninja, you're the last ninja, you kick and punch. Very simple. The gameplay is so hard. It's unbelievably hard. But the music, dude, still to this day, the music is awesome of that game. So check out Last Ninja 2.
You got it.
Yeah.
All right, Last Ninja. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. 2. The second
2.
one is just
Oh, okay.
basic Last Ninja 2.
Last Ninja 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down.
It was incredible, man. So we were the poor kids. That meant we could only have a Commodore 64 and copy these games, have free games. We couldn't ask our parents, "Can I get $60 so I can buy a new original game?" It was just no way. Until one kid at 5th grade, he came into our classroom and he had changed school a couple of times. And this kid had autism. But back then,
Wow. Yeah. That's rare.
nobody knew what it was, you
No.
know? Yeah, our teacher said, "This guy's coming over here. He has changed like 6 schools now, and he's a bit weird. If he hits you, don't hit him back. If he says something weird, don't say nothing back. He's weird." He had autism.
Well, that's interesting.
Weird.
And
Yeah,
putting a autistic child in the general classroom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they didn't. It was different back
Yeah.
then, man.
Yeah.
So he came into our classroom. Monday, this green suit, what's it called? Gym
A tracksuit?
sweatpants. Yeah, great.
Okay.
Yeah. Next day, the same clothes. Third day, the same clothes. Third day, Friday. Next week, the same clothes. So the other kids in the class, and they started, saying all the wrong things to him. And I was just fed up. And I was like, "Hey, stop this. Well, I mean, stop this, right? It's not cool." So we became friends this way. And we got an assignment. We should go home and make some homework and blah, blah, blah. So I should go home to this kid. I don't know him. This is second week. So I go there, but he's not from our neighborhood. He lives in the, very expensive area of Denmark. Go in there. It's a big house, big enough for 4 families. Huge house, right? Go in. I'm like, "Where's your parents at? Where's your mom?" He's like, "Oh, I haven't seen my mom for many years. I live with my dad." "Oh, where's your dad?" "He's never home, so I have all of this alone." All right, so we go into his room, and he has got a device that looks like this.
Oh.
This,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just, it's a console. What's like a Commodore 64?" And he's like, "No, man, not a Commodore 64. Check this out." And he turns the power on his Nintendo Entertaining System. The game that's inside the cartridge, I don't know what a cartridge is back then. We have cassette tapes. The game starts instant. You don't have to wait for 8 minutes. It just boots up, and it's Mega Man 2. Great music. I fell in love. I mean, it was so amazing. But these cartridges, they were so expensive. I said, can we get these games on the Commodore 64? Not possible. Yeah, games like Bubble Bobble. Oh, yeah, multiple platforms. But Mega Man, it was on Nintendo. He showed me Super Mario, a Nintendo exclusive. Man, it was, and then the next day, we invited all the kids from the class. So everybody was, "Oh," and he became our friend. So, yeah, he had a great life after that because of the Nintendo.
Yeah. Good social life.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Isn't it incredible?
So before I got Nintendo, I don't know if it's in Denmark, the introduction to computers to class happened in like the mid 80s.
Yeah.
But they started happening around the time I must have been, I don't know, 3rd grade or something like that. 2nd, 3rd grade. So we would, just picture this classroom. We had the ABCs and apples and things like that, very basic stuff on the walls. In the back was an early computer. I think it was an Apple II. And on that computer was this game I loved, and I would wait. Like if we were good as a class, we'd be allowed to play it and play this game on this computer. The game was called Oregon Trail.
Oh yeah.
And I always wonder, like now I wonder, like, is this something, because it's very US centric.
Yeah.
Was this something that you've heard of in the 80s and 90s as a game, like a pioneer American game?
No, not
No.
back then, but
Okay.
today I
Today,
know what
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was an interesting game. Yeah, there was very basic graphics. So it would, like a little Conestoga wagon, supplies, little forests, and the colors were very limited. But it was such a fun game. You could actually, there was real consequences. You could die, from starvation, or the big thing is you could get dysentery, and die from that. So this was, I think, one of the earliest kind of graphics games before the consoles came to my mind.
Yeah.
And it was just such a motivator to like be good in school. I was shy as a kid as well, but I just loved that game, and I always relished like the time that we'd get to play it, and I think we would have like little turns. So I'd always like, just wait for my turn and then play it. And I just loved it so much. But you were playing 80s and 90s. You weren't playing Oregon Trail in the 80s.
We played Last Ninja, International Karate, if you know that.
Yeah.
Gianna Sisters, copy of
Mhm.
Super Mario.
Mhm.
Games like that were amazing, man. But the coolest thing back then was hitting the arcades.
Yes.
Because those arcade machines had the Motorola 68000 CPU, and they had 16-bit games. That was just next level compared to a 8-bit Commodore 64 or 8-bit Nintendo Entertainment System. So when we saw those games at the arcades, those graphics, Alan, they were like, whoa, right? And then we got this game converted to the Commodore 64, but it was like colors were missing. Everything was missing. It was just not the same.
Yeah.
Not the same. Yeah.
For the NES, have you ever played, and I don't know the introduction with the Nintendo Entertainment System, but the light guns, was that big in your time with
Big Duck?
With Wild Gunman or Duck Hunts? Were you
Duck
playing
Hunt,
that?
yeah, Duck Hunt, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Oh yeah, that was popular, man. They don't work anymore on the CRT screens.
That's right.
On the LCD screens.
Yeah.
You need
And
a
didn't Nintendo, like in the 70s, they started out like, because they're a games company, like a shooting gallery. So it was like a video evolution of something that they did like years past.
They also made card games and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like they go way back.
Yeah. But it was interesting that like the intersection of like the physical object, and you would have this thing in your hand. You would often, like Wild Gunman, you had to have like movements, and then you would feel like a clicking, like there was like a mechanical and video nature to it that I just had a blast. And I just remember playing both Duck Hunt and Wild Gunman. And on my mom's side, my grandma, I didn't really know her well, but I just have this core memory, of like playing with her and just her being delighted. And I don't recall much interaction with her beyond just playing like these light gun games like Wild Gunman and Duck Hunt, but it just brought us together, and it just had a great time. So it's also like video games as like a basis for connecting with people, which I still do today with my kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what was your own first console or computer? Your own, and when was that? What was that? Not your brother's, but your own.
I'm pretty sure it was like 1985 with the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was when it was released with that robot Rob.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like moving around. Yes.
It's expensive today.
Will it be you? Will your family be the first to witness the birth of the incredible Nintendo Entertainment System? The first to play with Rob, the extraordinary video robot. He follows the commands you put on screen so you get to the dynamite before it explodes. Will you be the first to raise the incredibly accurate zapper and play games like Duck Hunt and Hogan's Alley? The first to get all this...
So my childhood, I grew up, my parents divorced when I was very young, like 5 or 6 years of age. And because of that, I had two different kind of life experiences happening at once. On my mom's side, we didn't have a lot of money. It was like to the point where we didn't have money for heat. So she would have to open the oven to create the heat in the house and things of that nature. And on my dad's side, though, he was, I would say, middle class or even slightly above, and I would see him like every other weekend. So I had this very interesting kind of different experiences. And on my dad's side, I did get these games periodically in consoles, but again, living within the situation, and it was fine, but that we didn't have a lot of money, but I sometimes had access to these nice consoles. I'm getting guys gifts to my dad. So it was a very interesting childhood I had, but that was my first console, and with seeing the mechanical robot move around and the initial light gun games.
Yeah. Wow, man. Those days, Alan.
I know.
Yeah, all the memories. I think we stick to all this retro stuff because those days were just magical.
Yeah.
It's just so fun to relive them through these games, music in the games. I mean, some games are just better left alone, but again, with a game like Last Ninja 2 or Mega Man 2, have you played Mega Man 2? You must have.
Yeah.
The music on different levels, there. Yeah, next level, man.
Now, do you still play those games today? Like, you'll go back on an emulator or something like that, or some type of system and play?
I actually have this Nintendo is the Nintendo Mini.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It came with like 20. I also have the original big full size, but this one came with like 20 games built in. And the first day I got it, I hacked this. And I installed 171 amazing Nintendo games in it. So the games that I love, it's included here, and it has got HDMI. So sometimes we just plug it into the big screen in the living room and just play with my son or my friend. It's cool, but it's not on there all the time. I'm more a 16-bit kid. This Super Nintendo, Castlevania 4. Man, did you have this Super Nintendo also? Did you upgrade to that?
Yes. So my upgrade path was, so I had some between the Nintendo and like the first 16-bit console, there was a couple games on the computer. I think it was like MS-DOS PC that really affected me, like Prince of Persia.
Yes. Yes, it was amazing.
That was an amazing game. I think there was something called in the technology, it was so smooth. Like, it was like rotoscoping or something.
Yeah.
It was
and
able,
then we got another world with the same technology.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah.
And then flashback.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good.
It was,
Did you? How about Wing Commander?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Wing Commander 3 with Mark Hamill, man. It was Skywalker.
Yeah. So Wing Commander was a big one. So this is another one. My brother and I played like a lot of these games together in like I think it was like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And then finally, the one before my era of like early PCs until I got into like 16-bit consoles was this game. It was my first introduction to like survival horror. There's a game called Alone in the Dark. That was scary.
That was scary, yeah. It was really scary. The music, it was slow but very scary game. Yeah. I remember that. Wow.
And I think it was
Seventh Guest.
Seventh Guest.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Good classics there, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, and all like setting it up to like the games that we play now, like Resident Evil and all the initial kind of like foundation of Silent Hill. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I want to ask you about. Did you have an Amiga?
I didn't. To me, you know what? On the U.S. side, the Amiga was thought to be like the rich person's game system in the U.S. I don't know anything what it costs at the time and everything else, but it would just seem something unattainable for us.
It was very. I mean, us kids, we were like 95% of us had the Commodore 64, and the Commodore 64, copying games. You should just buy this once, and then everything was for free. And the games were just magical, Ellen. All these awesome Commodore 64 games. Until one day. Until one magical day, my uncle, who is like 5-6 years older than me, he invites me over and he's like, Cengiz, you have to see what I have got. And I'm like, what? He said, I've got something that's better than the Commodore 64. I'm like, that's not possible. That's not possible. So I visit him. This is 1991. And he gets,
Wow.
do you know what this is?
It's at the Amiga?
That's the Amiga 500, man.
Enormous. That is gigantic.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
huge computer back then. But he had the Amiga 500 and with a game called Turricane 2, if you know Turricane. No. Do you like jump and gun games?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like Contra?
Yep.
Yeah, that type. Turricane 2. First, I'm an audio guy, so the music by Chris Hulsbeck, if you know him, he's the best in the industry. So the music of Turricane 2 was just magical. The gameplay, you didn't have a cassette tape, no nothing. You had these very small floppy disk, 1.3, and just slide them in here. It wasn't like an external disk drive. No, it was built in the computer. Just slide the disks in, and it loaded in an instant. I'm telling you, after that day, I came home, looked at my Commodore 64, and I was like, Dad, I want an Amiga.
What kind of hardware was running on the Amiga 500? Was it like 16-bit equivalent or?
Amiga 500 had the same chip, Motorola 68000.
Okay.
Like we had on the arcades, like we had in the
Oh.
Neo Geo times, right? Yeah.
Wow.
It came with 512 kilobytes of RAM instead of only 64 kilobytes of RAM. But everybody opened up this little trapdoor beneath the Amiga 500 and installed. So we had 1 megabyte of RAM in total. With 1 megabyte of RAM, we could play Alien Breed, Super Frog, if you know those games. You probably don't if you don't have the Amiga.
Yeah.
And then in 91, we got an amazing game called Civilization. Do you know
Yes.
Civilization?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sim strategy game. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, talking about games making an impact in you. Usually it was just run and gun, just fighting games. But Civilization, playing a nation or playing God, God level. This was better than Populous 2 and everything. That was the first game that just hit me. I couldn't sleep. One more turn. It was 4 o'clock in the night, I mean, it was a school night. I couldn't leave it alone. That was the time when I knew I'm a nerd, okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. Do you remember the first game that, impact, you couldn't turn the game off? Do you remember that game?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I know there was a game. I think the game I most pined for, I wanted so bad. So I was going to the arcades, and it was, back in the 80s, I was really interested in graphical evolution, and and Sega was becoming more and more popular.
Oh.
And there was this game in the local deli called Altered Beast by Sega.
Oh, yes.
And this is where, right, you play, and this is fantasy game, it's side-scrolling, and you could turn with different little orb power-ups into different beasts. And you fight the bad guys and the bosses, and the music was amazing, the graphics were amazing. It was just a great game. So one day I'm watching TV and I see a commercial of a home console coming out with a game which is a port of Altered Beast. And it shows like there was this famous cinematic of the man face turning into like a wolf and he's like howling. I'm like, I want that game.
And so it was, late in the 20th century, that a pox fell upon the land, a plague of home videos that were limited in intelligence. There was brain drain, and terminal boredom swept the countryside. The maker looked down and was not pleased by what he saw, and said, "This is not good." And so it was, he brought forth Genesis, a system with twice the power, twice the intelligence, twice the challenge, twice the fun. Only a chosen few were called forth to experience this new dimension of high-definition graphics and stereo sound. And the makers saw what he had done and said, "Now that's not bad. Discover Genesis, and your world will never be the same."
Sega.
Sega, yeah. So I think a Sega Genesis at the time was $199 US, and I would go to a local video store with my dad and rent video VHS tapes.
Oh, those
And I
days.
remember looking on the top shelf, and they just arrived was a number of Sega Genesis, and right on there was the Altered Beast. Kind of like the image there. I'm like, I want that so bad. So I was maybe, I don't know, I didn't have any chores. Like oftentimes I would do chores to like clean the bathroom or the toilets or do something, or like rake leaves to make the money to get those things or get another game. I don't know. It wasn't, I didn't have those chores available to me at the time, but my dad said, "Listen, I have this 5-gallon water jug filled with pennies. If you take all those pennies out and put them into the little, you ever see those penny sheets? Little,
We have here, yeah.
and so I must have spent 2 weeks. I emptied that out and I put all the little pennies into the penny sheets. I stacked them all up. I must have had a stack of like this many rollers of pennies. We
How
brought
much
it to
was
the bank. It was like $250.
Yes.
So it was enough for me to go to Video Home Center and purchase one of those great consoles from the top shelf of the video store and bring it home. And I guess the bringing that home and playing it, it wasn't a perfect port, but it was very close to the arcade game.
Wow.
That really impacted me. I was just, wow, I'm like, I am living in the future. I'm playing something that is so close to the arcade.
Oh,
It sounds amazing. Yeah, I played that for hours.
that was also a 16-bit system, so it was
Yeah.
pretty close. So you jumped over the Sega Master System then? That was a 8-bit system.
Yeah, for some reason in the
But you had the
US,
Nintendo.
yeah,
so-
had the Nintendo. Sega wasn't popular. It was more niche. It wasn't like all the cool kids had the NES, and very few people had the Master
But
System.
later, when you got the Super Nintendo and the Sega Mega Drive, there was a war between those
Yes.
two systems, also
Yeah.
in the US. I mean, something
Yes.
like Nintendo don't, and
Yeah.
Sega has the
Sega
blast.
does.
Yeah,
Sega does what Nintendo don't. Yeah,
yeah, and Sega has the blast processor.
Gotta go.
Hey, guy, you're the first serious gamer I've seen all morning. Check this out. Brand new 16-bit Super Nintendo with Super Mario World. Wow!
What's this one?
Oh, this is a Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega Genesis. Hey, look at these radical colors, huh?
Wow, Sonic's fast, too.
No, over here.
I like Genesis, and it costs a lot less.
Wait, kid, that game
I'll
there.
take Sonic and Genesis.
I knew that.
Sonic the Hedgehog. More action, more speed. Sega Genesis, it's a whole lot more for less.
Yeah.
I still don't know what it is, but
Yeah,
it
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
great.
yeah.
Well, I had a friend that had the Sega Mega Drive, and when you turned it on without a cartridge in, it started a game that was called Alex Kidd in Miracle World. So
Yeah.
this was Sega's Super Mario. And still to this day, if I see that game, I play it. I love that game. That's the best game in there.
Wait, so by the Mega Drive, you mean the 8-bit or the 16-bit?
Yeah, the 8-bit was called Sega Master System.
Okay, same in the US. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you call the 16-bit system, you call it
The Genesis.
Genesis, yeah. But over here, we don't know what the Genesis is. We call it the Mega Drive.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the Mega Drive.
I think only in North America they use the term Genesis. I think in Japan they use Mega Drive as well. I think everyone but the US for some reason.
And did you have the drive? You could put multiple stuff on it, more RAM, bigger cartridge, something.
I never got into it. It was, I think, a bit more money. And then at the time I don't know, in US, I think the Sega Mega Drive Genesis came out, and then Nintendo Super NES followed it. And at that time, I was like, okay, I want to put my money towards the SNES. Still have the Genesis, but not upgrade the Mega Drive, the Genesis.
Yeah. I mean, Super Nintendo still to this day, like the 16-bit system, but also very, very cool games. I got introduced to RPG games throughout the Super Nintendo. I mean, great RPG games, but my favorite RPG game came in '97 for the PlayStation 1, Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, yes.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Three discs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beyond the edge of reality lies a story of ultimate conquest, a story of war and friendship, a story of a love that can never be, and a hatred that always was. And now, the most anticipated epic adventure of the year will never come to a theater near you. Final Fantasy VII.
PlayStation.
Wow, that was so cool, man. But the Amiga, that's just still, I have so many, Denmark, Europe, Poland, Germany, very strong Amiga countries still to this day. And I have a YouTube channel called Retrocengo where I filmed this morning. I filmed my Amiga 1200 with new 3D games, and there's still games being produced for the Amiga. Very strong community, just filled with love and passion. And I held on to the Amiga as long as I could, because when the Amiga came, it was really ahead of its time with the 16-bit era, with great audio chip and great graphics and everything, and sprite movement. But at the early 90s, the PC world caught on. They came with better graphic cards. If you remember the 3D Voodoo 3D FX graphics card, Riva TNT and GeForce 1-2. So people started jumping over to the PC, and I was like, no. And I was the last kid that still held onto my Amiga. And then 1993, Christmas season hit, and our school had 8 IBM computers. And this kid that had the autism, he had these shareware floppy disks. And after school, he started installing Doom in these hard disks. LAN effect, playing Doom. When I saw that for the first time, Doom at the school, it was all over. I mean, the PC won everything. Doom won 1993. I sold my Amiga. I should never have sold it, but yeah.
Well, the Amiga was amazing. It seemed, I did some research on it. Is it true, like a lot of the arcade ports, a lot of the initial ports came to the Amiga first before the consoles? I guess because the hardware was there.
Yeah, it was the same CPU, same architecture, and it was. Oh, I get emotional when I think about those days, because we went to the arcades and I was like, this game is awesome. And then we had these old magazines with those crack people that sold, 20 games for $15 or something. So we could call them on the phone. So I want this, and then we could, pay them, and they sent those 15, 18 floppy disks to us. It was very illegal back then, still today.
Yeah.
But many people didn't like that. So yeah, it was if you know a game like Ghost and Goblins,
Yeah.
Ghoul of, yeah. You played on the arcade, you came home on your Amiga, it was the same, man. It was absolutely perfect. Few games, a game like Sega Outrun, that was really bad on the arcade port on the Amiga. It wasn't just like the arcade. But last year, a fan, he ripped the arcade version and included to the Amiga version now with some accelerator cards with Motorola 68020 or 30 processors at 25, 30 megahertz. Then we could run that because the Amiga ran at 7 megahertz. I know I'm getting too much technical, but I am very deep
cool.
into all of this.
Do you play on a CRT, or do you graduated just sort of modern TV to play Amiga games?
Actually, I started my YouTube channel playing on CRT, but these CRT monitors, they have got this flyback. These flybacks are so old, and they do a little humming sound. Very light humming sound when you turn them on. And I found out today, as an old guy, after like 20, 30 minutes, I get a headache. And I asked around, and my friend said, dude, I get the same. So, yeah, and it's only 14 inches, so... Yeah, out with them. Now I have a 40-inch LCD screen, and I sit like 1 meter, 3 feet, or what's it called in US? Yeah, it's so cool, man. And upgrade these old systems to run with HDMI, because I don't emulate. I have tried emulating with Raspberry Pi and stuff like that, emulating Amiga games. The quality of the audio is not as good as the real thing, and I have really strong ears with that. So it just ruins it for me. Also timing. I don't like lag. When you press on that button, it needs to hit, 1-to-1. So I love the idea, preserving the games and everything. But as you can see, as I have showed you, I have a huge collection of the original, and everything is just bright white or bright gray, and it's just perfect condition. And I love it.
Yeah.
Just remember to recap these old 30-year-old caps, and that's it.
That's right. That's a good point. Yeah, I'm thinking in my emulation library, things are preserved, but it's not. Yeah. They're versions of it, but it's not like the original.
If you know the original,
I
mean, if you haven't,
I don't know any better.
Yeah, but if you haven't played it for 30 years, you don't. It's fine, it's fine. Most people, it's just me. I have some of. No, in the Amiga community, people are like, no, the real deal. Yeah, so we keep the old machines alive, and it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Now, you sold your Amiga. Did you end up buying a Sega Mega Drive or a Super Nintendo?
PC.
Just you went right to PC. Okay.
Dune, Dune 2, if you know those strategy games. Yeah. Yep. Civilization 2, Command and Conquer, Red Alert, Duke Nukem 3D. I mean, it was just all over, man. It was just PC. Until we hit like 96 or something when I was 16. Then I started, dating girls and everything. And then when I got introduced to how nice ladies were, then bam! Yeah. Give me a game from like 98. I don't know. I wasn't there. I was with ladies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Everything just, disappeared.
So, I had a little bit more time. Like, I guess in the early 90s, my games, like I spent a lot of time on the consoles. So, I don't know if you remember, I played a lot in the arcade as well. And I think there's an Amiga port of it, Strider.
Yes.
Perfect
on Amiga.
Style. Yeah, there's the style to it, the sound. think which is I think a little known fact, the soundtrack of Strider was actually designed by a woman, but she never got the credit to the soundtrack in Capcom. So so the original designer of the Strider contract was a female, which I guess was in the 90s was quite rare, and I guess was like a silent creator, but I don't know where she went up to, but it was pretty cool as well. And then it made me feel, I don't know, it made me feel like comforted. This is when I was a teenager. Maybe it wasn't the coolest game, but I played this game and I enjoyed it. I rented it from the video home center and I ended up buying it. It was maybe the earliest days of 16-bit consoles doing like licenses from these large IPs.
Yeah.
And this one just worked out. It was a beautiful game. I just got lost in it. Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion. On Sega Mega Drive. Something about it was just beautiful. It had all these levels where you're in the forest, you're in this like candy land. It was creative, very different. It just, the pace was good, beautiful. I just felt good playing it. Had great memories. I remember just sitting like, I don't know, did you have in your house, in the US, we had like JVC or Zetus. There were like these CRTs built into like these wooden cabinets.
Oh,
and they were like pieces of furniture. So it was on the ground floor. It was, on the ground. So
we sit on the floor.
You sit on the floor, you sit on the carpet, you have your drink and snack, and you're just playing it and having a great time. Maybe leaning up against the couch or something like that. But I just remember that as a memory, and it was just
all your friends
fun.
Around you.
Yeah.
Man, it was different. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Look at this is my son's play. Everything needs to be perfect. Blah blah blah. Headset and chair. And I'm like, we sit on the floor. I'm like, no, he doesn't believe me. He said, no, that's not possible. It is, buddy. It is.
Yeah. It was great.
Did
you ever get into any of the console CD games, or you kept, even when the evolution, from discs to CD, you stayed in the computer realm?
CD games, 1995, PlayStation 1, Twisted Metal,
okay,
Tekken. Yeah, those CD games. Absolutely, man. I remember them. They were awesome. Again, Final Fantasy. But later here, as my son was old enough, we started actually with the PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One. Yeah, that's the newest. I think the newest we have is a PS4. And I must say, of the newer stuff, it's very few games that I enjoy today. I go back to the old catalog. Is it like that with you? Or do you play Fortnite?
You know what? I do play Fortnite. I resisted it. I know it's been around for many years. But I saw my kids, they started playing, I don't know, 7-8 years it's been around. They're still playing it. And now I have 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy, and they're still playing Fortnite, and they're playing together. They're playing with their cousins. I'm like, this is a great opportunity for me to like spend some time with them.
Yeah.
And
How old are they, if I may ask?
I have 2 18-year-olds and a 14-year-old.
Okay.
So
they're twins?
One's adopted, one's biological.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so separated by 2.5 months.
Man.
Yeah.
I only have one kid. That's the biggest, what's it called? The biggest regret in my life is only having one kid. It's just the biggest regret.
Yeah. It's really amazing. It's really being a father, right? It just really changes you and helps.
It's
and like, you become so much less selfish. I know we're all growing in our lives and learning, but it's helped me so much. But I felt like I gotta do this. It's an opportunity for me to connect with them.
Yeah.
I resisted and I did it. And I'm like, this is kind of fun, and so the three of them will hop on and I'll hop on and we're all playing and like joking around and everything and just having a good time. And sometimes we'll actually win a match, but I enjoy it. And we're fortunate. My daughter connects from her Switch. My other two kids have their own PCs. I have my multicade, which I connect to Fortnite from there, and then we're just all from different parts of the house, just playing Fortnite and just yelling at each other.
So cool, man.
But there's a game that I introduced to them in their early childhood that they still have fond memories today because it's a 4-player multiplayer game called Rayman Legends. Initially came out by the Nintendo Wii U, and it's made by Ubisoft. I think the Montreal unit of Ubisoft. It's just such a creative and beautiful game, and you could play 4 players at once and just all messing around in this beautiful environment. So definitely recommend Rayman. Yeah, the 3D versions. Yep.
Yeah. I remember. Of the newer games, Borderlands 2, if you know that one. Borderlands 2. Yeah. That's a game that I enjoyed with my son. But right now, we actually play a game that came out back in 2000, a game called Diablo 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like 2 years or something ago, they remastered it. Now it's called Diablo Resurrected with, up-to-date graphics and everything, multiplayer gaming. My son and I, we play Diablo 2. And it's just a great experience, man. That's like the most time I use in a modern game. Other than that, I still play Command and Conquer from 1995 and all that. All the remastered versions. They come with, they take the old soundtrack and they remaster everything and HD format. And oh my God, I love when they do it. Need to support those companies. But if they remaster Mega Man 2, I'm there.
Yes.
Still love it.
Yeah, and then go back to the CD games, like when they made the leap from cartridge to CD, and I got a little bit caught up in remember full motion video cutscenes and then like real CD audio and things like that. So I played the role-playing games called there's one on TurboGrafx. I had the TurboGrafx CD, 16 CD, called Ease 1 and 2. It was a Japanese RPG.
Oh man, that was
it was so good, and it had the cartoon cutscenes. I was so enamored into it. I actually I hooked up my VHS recorder to it, and I would tape all the cutscenes of the game together, and then when I beat it, I would tape the end too. So I had all these cutscenes on it.
Also, right? It had real speech
there.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Real speech. Yeah.
Ys, the ideal utopia. Once a country so peaceful and prosperous. A country where children were as free as the wind. A country where harmony blew through the hearts of all men. Ys, a kingdom ruled by the wisdom and charity of its 6 powerful priests.
Next gen, it was good.
Yeah, or see in the by the mid '90s, I started like making more money with side jobs and stuff, and I'd spend my money on video games and consoles. I actually I saved up. I must have worked for 6 weeks, maybe longer. I was in I think it was a Babbage's in New Jersey, and there was this guy there. I think I would have sworn this guy was Trip Hawkins. Trip Hawkins was the guy, I think he was ahead in Panasonic, but Panasonic released a unit called the 3DO.
Presenting 3DO, the most advanced home gaming system in the universe. It's time to put away your toys.
Yeah.
So it was I think it was a 32-bit like next-gen system that could like duplicate like Mortal Kombat type of games. But there was this game called Road Rash.
Yeah.
That had like, this is during the time of like, and at least on the East Coast, mid '90s, like grunge. So Soundgarden, I think Alice in Chains were on it. All these great grunge bands of the mid '90s were on there. I just felt so cool playing it, and I'm like Soundgarden is playing. And I'm like hitting guys with chains.
Did you? I mean, that the 3DO, it was a flop. They didn't sell that many units, but it's a rare system today.
Yeah.
So if you have you kept your old collection, or did you sell like me?
You know what? I sold some. I gave some to my younger siblings over time, like my Nintendos and this and that.
Oh man,
yeah, I wish I did.
Today.
Yeah.
All that old system, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
I think the oldest system I have now, gosh, like a PlayStation 3 or something, or I have a GameCube. It's still around somewhere, but that's probably in my house.
The oldest?
Yeah.
That's not retro, man.
I know. I know. But I have the multicade, which so I got into like emulation and multicades, and like I think around the time of COVID.
Yeah.
And it's amazing with like storage. You could buy 25 terabytes for like $300 or something like that. So I just have so many retro games. Yeah, I could just for the rest of my life play different games. But again, they're not the real thing, but they're so fun. And I go on like these little explorative journeys to see, oh, what was that? Or do I remember this? Yeah.
We have my brother here in Denmark. He has 7 arcade locations today with real arcade machines, with real Tekken 2 or Mortal Kombat, where you put it.
Wait, did you say seven arcades?
Locations. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Amazing, man. And we're getting Pokemon in like an hour and 10 minutes. Pokemon, the new pinball from Stern. Gonna unbox it and show everything on my YouTube channel. And I am a retro guy. I love retro games, and I have had, I sold these consoles back then. When I was 19, I was into all this, from PlayStation 1 era to Nintendo 64 and onwards. And then I started collecting arcade machines, but at some time, pinball, when we get, when you start collecting 1 or 2 of these, you just get the bug, and pinball just takes over everything. So you have a couple of pinball machines, right?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually got into pinball from virtual pinball. So
so how does it feel compared to the virtual and the real? There we can talk of emulation.
So I would say
careful.
You would have to. Yeah, you have to have the right setup, like with all the solenoids firing and the shakers and the blowers. It starts to feel really good, and the physics are good, but it's not. It's probably 80%.
Yeah.
It's not fully there. There's some there's it's a community where people make their own, and the quality varies. So probably maybe there might be 2,000, 3,000 games out there, but maybe 10% of those are really, really good. But yeah, you look at attempts to duplicate a real virtual pinball table, a real pinball table, and they're rarely good. There's some cases where, I don't know if you've ever played, there was a virtual pinball version of Iron Maiden. They did quite a good job.
Yeah.
I could actually show it to you. They duplicated the user interface. The playfield looks great. You just have to adjust the point of view on the computer. But there's other cases where they try to duplicate like Godzilla and everything else. It just doesn't. It's not the same. So right now I'm debating. I have. It takes up a lot of space.
Yeah.
Do I sell my virtual pinball and then I have room for another pinball machine?
I mean, I got the bug with virtual pinball because I was like, hey, there's so many pinball machines, also old EM machines that are just hard to find today. And it's cool to just, try those different pinball machines out, right? In this virtual pinball. So I started building mine. When I was done, I was like, I can do it better. So I started on project number 2, project number 3. And when I was done with project number 3, with a lot of money in it, good graphics card and 3 screens and everything, I was like, this is not as good as I wanted. And I started buying these from companies, ordered from US and, professional companies. And I bought 3 different with a year in between. And the last one I got, I was like, I turned it on, big screen and everything. That was, the best, and it cost like 8,000 or something, right? Yeah.
Do you know that? Oh, it was a virtual pinball.
Virtual pinball, yeah.
What was the maker of that? Do you recall?
It's some years back,
Okay.
but the thing is, I turned it on. I mean, the graphic looks perfect on those high definition screens and everything. And I invited my pinball friends over. This is maybe 5 years back or something. And they tried it, and all of them said, you have to calculate when the ball is on the way to your flippers, you have to calculate and press like 20 milliseconds earlier than usual to get the flipper arm up so you can catch the ball. And with that mindset, if you play like that, then it's a great experience. But if you play like real pinball, oh my God.
Yes.
It's just, you have that millisecond of lag. And no matter what, it's there. I mean, it is there. It is what it is. So I don't have it anymore. But I tried. I played a game called Attack from Mars 1995, Billy Williams. Beautiful on the virtual pinball machine. And that played pretty good, I think. So, so some of the games were cool. But I'm into the real deal, man.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think that just led me towards real pinball. And I started looking around. I started connecting, and actually, I started listening to Don's initial podcasts and just what the space was like. And I'm like, okay, I want a real pinball machine. I'm like you, I remember all the Bally's Williams to the 90s, like Indiana Jones and Medieval Madness and things like that. But I'm like, there's something too, like you just walk up to it, you leave it on and you walk up to it, you press play, and bam, you're playing. It's not booting up or anything, and it's just. Yeah, it's and
do you have some Bell Williams games? Or
no,
have you had some?
No, never. I mean, I in college there was mid '90s a lot of Bally's Williams kind of in the college arcade, which I just have fond memories of. Like T2 and like a lot of those classic games. But I was like, I'd love to own one, but I don't know. I had a fear, like I would get bored of like the early 80s, 90s games, and my mind with my video game mentality was more wired to like the more modern games.
Deeper code.
Deeper code, exactly.
What was your lineup again? With your
Harry Potter CE. I went crazy. I don't know why I got the CE, but it just like it mesmerized me. Harry Potter went
beautiful. It's beautiful.
He moved his wand and like I got mesmerized. And then Godzilla.
Oh,
I-
my favorite game actually, the Pro version.
yeah, Pro
It's
version.
my
Yeah.
favorite game. Yeah, I love Godzilla.
So there's this guy where he bought a lot of pinball machines. Nice guy, and I put an ad on Pinside. I'm looking to buy a Godzilla Premium, home use only. This guy had a beautiful premium with all these mods on it, like the Stumbler, Tokyo Neo light sign,
Yes.
the UFO.
Yes.
The buildings. It was like a modern day, like a man's like train set. It was all like built up, and the top, the official stern topper.
Yeah.
The
Tesla towers and everything.
yeah, Tesla towers, the side rails with the green powder coat. This guy did it real up. He gave me a great price, and it's a beautiful machine.
So you have the premium version where the
Yeah.
building goes up and down and destroys.
Yeah.
I have played pinball for over 20 years, and guys like me, when you have to wait for the building come down and everything, we get furious. We want fast action. You shoot it and the ball is back again. So we want the simple, cheaper Pro version. And for me, that game, Keith Elwin design,
Yeah.
it's a masterpiece, man. I love that. I love old Keith Elwin games. He's probably my favorite designer out there. So yeah. So how I just want to know, how did you know about me? Through my YouTube channel with pinball or retro gaming, or was it through our We Are Pinball with Don podcast?
I think it was through We Are Pinball. And I'm like, oh, this Jenkins guy, he's got, great energy. I would like, so I don't know, somehow I found that you were connected to the Retrocengo channel. I think sometimes you'd post videos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's all these retro games on here. I'm like, this is so cool. And so I listened to the WAP podcast, and you would mention retro games periodically, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you like both pinball and retro games, which is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, and now we're here.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I love retro games, but pinball, it's just different for me. I love pinball games, but I also have a lot of friends that are into pinball today, and we're distros. You talked about you bought the collector's edition of Harry Potter. So when we have people over at our showroom showing these different games, they see Harry Potter, they're like, whoa, all that gold, because you can buy the almost same game for $5,000 cheaper, the arcade version, right? With no gold on it, but you have the same play field. But I'm telling you, we have sold under 5 of the cheaper arcade versions. Everybody wants the collector's edition when they see it. And if Harry Potter is, a theme that they like, it's the collector's edition. Man, it's a popular game, selling like crazy.
Yeah, and the big thing with me is, I have limited space. I have a Beetlejuice on order.
Oh!
And then I am like, I hear Sonic from JJP. Of course, I love Sonic.
Yes.
I'm
Sonic
like,
is on the way. Transformers is on the way. Halo is on the way.
Oh my gosh.
My goodness, it's gonna be a blast. And rumors are saying Gremlins is on the way. Yeah.
Wow.
And rumors are
Wait,
saying.
Was it Spooky or some other
Spooky,
Bouts of Fun? Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
Wait, this is just rumors. Okay, I'm not confirming
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And also Goonies, if you're into that old movie from the 80s. Yeah. So a lot of great games on the way. So yeah, when you get the bug, I mean, get some more space, get some more money.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's the thing. Like virtual pinball, going back to that. Yeah. You spend that initial 8,000 or something, like you said. And then, you have all the tables, or you could access all the tables. But yeah, real pinball is a much bigger investment.
Yeah.
But I think they retain their value, like a virtual
Depends
pinball.
on the game you buy.
Yeah.
Now you said Beetlejuice. Last year, Spooky Pinball, they released a game called Evil Dead, if you know that one.
Yeah. I played it. You know what? It was something funny. I played it a little bit for like 2 seconds at a Pin Fest in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But I really didn't fully play it. I played it for like a half hour until maybe a couple months ago. It was what a great game, like immersive, pull you in.
Buddy.
And I'm like, what would be like to play this at home? Like, I would put all the lights down. I'm in my little private room. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm good friends with these guys at Spooky. I know that they have so much love and passion. They're coding more and more on their old games. They don't stop. And this one, and they love horror movies. Yeah, Spooky Pinball.
Yeah.
And this game, Ellen, when it came out, the highest version, collector's edition, cost $10,000. You talking about holding their value. Today, they have released the next game, Beetlejuice. It's out, but still their game for last year, they go for $16,000 to $18,000. So now you say you have a Beetlejuice on the way. Do you know what they go for now?
No, how much?
$20,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
People are selling their spots. Do you know when you will get yours?
I'm number like 700 and something. So it might be a little bit of time. Maybe like the fall. If I calculate. Yeah.
Yeah. Check out my YouTube channel. In 3 weeks, I will get my.
Oh.
Yeah. Unbox it there.
I need to think of like a work trip to Denmark, I think.
The biggest location has got like 150 pinball machines and like over 50 arcade machines. It's a blast.
So how did you and your brother get into arcades like that? Because I think you had a marketing background. You were in marketing for a while, or?
My background is in sales, actually.
Sales, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's in sales. But if you want to be a great salesman, you need to study some psychology behind it. So I learned, and this is, if you ask me, it's a coward move, but we actually learned to look at a customer and, scan the customer's clothes, behavior. If it was in a mall, then look at what do they have in the wagon. Are they buying, cheap wine or, one expensive, and then say, okay, you can have this, cheap TV or this Pioneer for like $4,000. So I know a lot about sales, but with pinball and arcades, I have been in it forever. I was just hooked, and my brother got hooked, and my bro, he's like, he can't control himself. He just buys everything, and we're also distros, and he runs to locations now, and it just took over, man. I'm gonna meet with him in an hour, and we're gonna have some fun. Dude, listen to this. Our mantra is just, we only live once.
Yeah.
Right. We only live once, right? Have some fun. Do with people, do stuff with people you love, be with people you love. I have learned to say, if someone is negative, block that person.
Yeah.
If someone is blah, 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 just say, okay, and just walk away.
That's right.
Life is too short. And now with Pokemon, gotta catch them all. It's gonna be great.
Do any of the pinball manufacturers publish any data like what a given game, for how many people is that game their first game, and to kind of calculate like what games really pull people in? I mean, you can make guesses, like Pokemon or Harry Potter, but it'd be cool to see like which pinball game is the first, for this many people, to see like how games pull people into the field, and then they buy more, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the biggest company right now is the oldest company called Stern Pinball in Chicago, right? They have made this technology built in their games called Insider Connected. You have it on your Godzilla. It was the first game it came with. Yeah. So you scan your phone with the QR code, and then you can have your high score and collect trophies like on your PlayStation. But on the other hand, at Stern, they suck all the data to them. So how much do you play? Do you go to locations and play? Do you have short ball times, long ball times? Should they make easier games, faster games? So trust me, that data is going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's something else right now.
So I got suckered into a Stern Gold Pass because they so they were saying, we're going to offer Pokemon limited editions to people with Stern Gold Pass level or something. I'm like, I need to get that. I want to be in on that. So as soon as it releases, so I spent $100 for the year, and I'm like going in there to like get my Pokemon LE, and it was like I couldn't get it within 30 seconds. It was blocked. So I'm like, oh man, they got me.
They only made 750, and Pokemon is the biggest IP in the world. There's nothing bigger than Pokemon.
Yeah.
And those 750 LEs for $13,000, they were gone in an instant. And on the secondary market, people are selling them for $25,000. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
But it's amazing.
Yeah.
They're
And I guess
listed for $40,000 on eBay, but I don't think they're selling. But 25, they're selling.
And I think with like you and your brother with your locations, would they ever do like a Pokemon hunt where they would put certain Pokemon in certain locations, so it would encourage people to kind of go to their arcades and catch different unique Pokemon? Or
I mean, the game is so early, and unfortunately, Stern is, when they release the game, the code is just not done. It's like on 0.70 or 0.72 or something, but they will include it. I mean, maybe in 2027 or something, where you can really collect and get to different locations and get some different stuff. They have to. I mean, this game is gonna print money on location, Alan. Everybody that walks by, an 8-year-old kid, oh, Pokemon, I want to try that. Everybody is gonna do that. It's gonna be amazing. So
you're gonna be getting calls like your cash box is flooded, like you can't put quarters or anymore. I don't know if you use real coins or scans, but yeah.
No. You scan and get our own coins, but we have tried that.
Yeah.
We have tried that because we have our phone there. They call my brother. I cannot put in coins. Something is wrong with your machine. He goes out there, just opens money.
It's Scrooge McDuck, right? It's like the money bin.
Absolutely, man. I remember when we got Halo. Have you tried Halo? Our arcade machine is a huge
Fire Team Raven.
What?
Right, Fire Team Raven, the new Halo game.
Yeah. It printed money. So yeah, that happened. And I have heard they released Godzilla, where you take on virtual glasses on. It costs like $40,000 or something for that game. Yeah, and I know different people in US and here in Europe, different places, and they're like, they cannot keep up. Usually they empty the boxes once a week. Now they have to do it a couple of times a week on that game. It's just printing money. It's crazy. But arcade machines generally make much more money than pinball, because pinball is niche, Ellen. It's niche.
Yeah. I guess that's why, like, I don't know if you probably heard, in the US, there's these big organizations like Dave and Buster's that are like dominate, but they don't carry pinball. They're just these large units, and Top Gun and like shooting games and everything else. I guess, like you said, it's a niche area, and maybe maintenance is higher. Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah, maintenance. Yeah, it's just it's sad, man, because we all want pinball to grow, but it's also too expensive, if you ask me. Just look at your Harry Potter, $15,000.
Yeah,
and not everybody. People loves it, but it's just not easy to buy. And that game is from Jersey Jack. Jersey Jack Games' code are so deep, so you cannot enjoy it in a location.
Yeah,
you have to have it at home and just. Oh, what's going on? Is somebody calling you? Or something?
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So yeah, that. Can you hear me? Because I hear just a lot of noise.
Oh, sorry. Let me. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time you saw a pinball machine? How you act? I remembered. I want to share it with you. But how was it for you?
Ooh.
And when was it?
That's a good question. I was a little bit older. This was in a local arcade in my mall nearby. They had mostly arcade games. So on the corner, they had a side. One of the earliest games was Terminator 2. That was probably, I know it was a little bit later in life. I was a teenager, but I think that was probably the first one. And Again, Terminator 2 was huge.
Yeah.
Real voice from Arnold. You know,
Yeah.
the gun shooter. It was so
Oh,
cool.
magic.
And I enjoyed it too. I had fun with pinball, but I was just caught up in like the graphics craze, you know, chasing like the better graphics and everything. And that was like a big attractant. So I give up gameplay, you know, for better graphics at the time. I just didn't know.
It was like that back then. We should see what's the next gen, next graphic, better graphic. It was like that. And now we know gameplay, good gameplay has nothing with graphics to do. But back then, well, look at the graphics, look at the color palette.
Yeah, exactly.
3D.
Now I'm playing. Now I enjoy like basic, you know, 16-bit, 32-bit games.
Yeah,
they play nice. But how about you? What was your first pinball game that you saw as a child?
I'm a huge Arnold fan. I love Arnold. I love Terminator 2. It's like if you listen to We Are Pinball, then you know, and all that, you know. But I was with my school. We were at the cinema, which we should watch one of the Ninja Turtles movies. That must be 91 or something. If you remember, they made movies with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So beneath the cinema or the movies or what's it called in the US, there was an arcade down there. So I was trying the different Neo Geo games, Capcom, all of those awesome games. And then I see this pinball machine, right, in 91. And I look, I'm like, I don't know what Terminator is, no nothing. And it says 5 Danish kroners. And arcade games is 2 kroners. And this one was 5. So I was like, whoa. It had this gun handle I could shoot. And wow, that's great. Put in $5 in there. What now? Yeah, so I see this display that turned on and shows the handle. And I shoot. The ball comes out and it just drains. And you have to flip and comes out and it just drains. I lose all 3 balls. I'm like, what the heck? And I look at that orange DMD display. I'm like, dude, my Amiga is much more beautiful than this.
That's right.
Screw this.
Yeah.
I didn't care when they were playing some more Neo Geo games. That was my first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So look at you now. Yeah, that's interesting. What game really took hold of you?
Well,
after that.
Years later, I was picking up arcade machines here in Denmark. We had a lot of room, so I bought these arcade machines. And then at a young age, I actually started an arcade company. So I imported joysticks and buttons and PCB boards, and I started selling those stuff. And I was very young back then. So at one place, I should pick on an arcade machine, and it was in Copenhagen on the 6th floor, right? No elevator, no nothing. So I went in there and I was like, does it work? And he was like, I don't know, dude. I've lived here for 4 years. It was just there when I moved in. Okay, so I gave it some power and it didn't work properly and I got it for peanuts, you know. And then when we moved it out, at the background, he had a lot of stuff and he had a game from 1986 called Pinbot, pinball machine. I was like, oh, I know what that is. That's a pinball. He's like, I don't know. I use it as a table. So we remove all the clothes. And like, do you want to sell this? And he's like, sure, for a pizza. All right. So I got it home and I had it for a couple of days and I powered it on and it didn't work. So I found out back then I couldn't go online and ask what should I do? What should I do? So I just, tried trial and error, put in some new fuse. And I started playing the game and I started, okay, this is fun. And then I bought, a few days later, Whirlwind, 1990 from Bella Williams, if you know Whirlwind.
Yeah.
I bought that game, took the glass out, because that game had three balls, multi-ball. And I found out I could lock the balls, manually. And then you could start multi-ball. And it had a blower up there and everything. It was so much fun. And then I just clicked over 20 years ago, and then I started buying pinball machines. Back then, pinball was like, if you paid $700, you could get Demolition Man, Fish Tales. I mean, all those.
Wait, in like good working order?
Yeah. Terminator.
Gee,
yeah, the most expensive game for like maybe $2,000. That was medieval madness. That was on the top. And then you just come $1,000. That was games like Indiana Jones, Adam's Family. Now they cost $10,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got those games for no money, right? So it was cheap back then.
I remember looking. I think it was like early 2000s. There was some like catalogs of like higher end things. Like there was a catalog called Hammacher Schlemmer. I don't know if you have. It's just like fancy stuff of different things. And then sometimes these fancy catalogs would have pinball machines. So I remember seeing like a Lord of the Rings pinball machine for like 69, like $6,000 for like a nice edition or Avatar, and I'd be like, I would like that. And I like the theme. I love Lord of the Rings, like many people do. But I'm like, maybe should I get that as like a nice birthday present? I know it's a little expensive. $5,000 is a lot of money. But like now it's like I could have had a Lord of the Rings for $5,000. Like, dang it.
Nowhere, brand new.
I would have started my pinball journeys much earlier, but what are you gonna do? Yeah.
So you have Godzilla and Avatar now.
Godzilla and Harry Potter. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Harry Potter. Yeah. They made Avatar last year.
I'm one of the few, I don't know. I enjoy the Avatar movies. I enjoy like Don, the rides in Disney World and Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
I almost bought Avatar, but I went to play it and I don't know. For the money, I couldn't move myself to do it. But
just wait for Sonic. Sonic's gonna kill it, man. I mean, the things I know about it, whoa.
Yeah. And Steve Ritchie, I mean, Elton John's a great talent, but I'm not a huge Elton John fan. But that pinball machine, super fun. I could play that for like an hour straight.
Most of his games, man. Look, 91 Terminator 2, like 92 High Speed 2, if you know that game, The Getaway. Yeah, that's a great game. 93 White Body Star Trek Next Generation from Steve Ritchie. Also amazing game. Have you played that?
What was it again?
Star Trek Next Generation.
Which one is that? Is that with the
from 93 with the cannons that move?
Yes.
That's a Steve Ritchie game also.
Wow.
95 he made No Fear. That's a fast sports game. So he has amazing game, and he goes back all the way back to the Atari times in the 70s. Yeah, that guy. I mean, Steve Ritchie. He.
How old is he? 70s? Is he in his 70s?
Yeah, he must be.
Oh, good for him. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And George Gomez, like all those guys.
I love Gomez.
Sharp
man.
as a tack. That guy. He's just super sharp.
I think Gomez is about 70 or something. I love George Gomez. He's just he made James Bond, and yesterday was the first time I showed the James Bond movie to my 15-year-old son. Movie from 1964, Goldfinger, if you know that one.
Mm-hmm.
He was just, whoa, that's a great movie. And we talked about pinball and George Gomez. And in that game, he shows a picture of his aunt taking him to the cinema when he was like 8 or 9 years old. That was like the first Bond film he watched, and he was just mesmerized. And he had, Gomez wrote to me and he showed me his watch, and it reminds me of those Bond watches. And I was like, I wrote to him, Gomez, sell me your watch, man. I want to buy that. He's like, no, I'm going to get buried with this watch in my arm. And I love that. I mean, being in the hobby for so many years, I have contact with most of the manufacturers. I'm blessed having such a good time, man. So
that's what's really cool about this hobby too. Like you said, it's niche, and I guess being that has its challenges, but also it allows exposure. You could connect. You could send like we interviewed Jack Gennari. He's like, I'll talk to you. Or David Van Ness and Brian Savage at Barrels of Fun.
Yes.
It's like the interaction between the creators and the consumers is much closer, and the influence and everything. And you don't see that in the video game world because it's so big and maybe or something. But that's why one thing as well I appreciate about pinball. It's just the community is so close.
Oh yeah. And everybody was just we just love this hobby, and I said we wanted to grow, but it's just, I don't know, man. With Pokemon, it should just explode in popularity, but it's just not there yet.
Yeah. I think like you were saying, the price Price is
Yeah.
challenging.
Yeah.
You know that
That's why
5, 10,000.
I love Spooky Pinball. Now, $10,000, it's a lot of money. I know. But you get a jam-packed play field with Spooky Pinball, and they keep the price just under $10,000.
Yeah.
I really root for that. I want all pinball to be sub 10,000 because as a distro, I know how it hurts. People comes over, they try different. We have Alien from Pinball Brothers, and now we have got Predator.
Mhm.
And people like Predator, they're like, whoa, that's a white body. You know what white body is, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like slightly wider than the standard. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they
Yeah.
see Predator, they're like, whoa, and then we talk. They play like, how much does it cost? Like about $10,000. But here in Europe, you have to, on top of that, you have to pay VAT. So you
Mm.
have to pay 25% on top of those 12,000 or 15,000.
But they're
You have-
based in Europe. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but it comes from Italy. That's another country, so we have to pay 25%.
The
on top
manufacturer.
of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Shoot. Oh.
Yeah, so we don't just have states like you have in US. You're so
Yeah.
lucky. You're so lucky. But we have
Oh.
different languages and everything. You do also with people from Texas. We're a hard time understanding them.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I'm from the Northeast, so we're like, closest thing is New York City and whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah. You sound when you talk, it's like watching a Hollywood movie. That's perfect.
Oh, thank you.
I
Okay.
understand everything, but my English is trash. But I only
it's
speak
awesome.
English very few times a day, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
it's only Danish. So I learned my English watching Terminator 2, Cyberdyne Systems.
You weren't taught in school English, like in the
I
early
mean, from
years?
7th, 8th, and 9th grade, but it was like 1, 2, it's a shoe, 3, 4, it's a door. That's what we learned.
Jenkins, that's amazing. I mean,
That's what we learned.
no,
Back in the 80s.
your ability. That's like me. I'm just trying to think like me trying to learn
Danish.
Dutch, Danish, like, and what I was taught, like I took French and French early days, but like me trying to speak French at your level that you speak English is like, I would never get to that level. So
Thank
I'm
you.
impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's Hollywood movies, Hollywood.
Yeah.
But it's, Danish to English, it's very, very different. We say, det her er en Super Nintendo. Du tænder den ved at trykke på power-knappen og trykker på reset-knappen, og her indsætter du spillene. That's Danish.
Okay.
You're like, what
Sounds
the heck?
cool. Yeah.
Very
then
different.
And that's interesting around your nearby countries, I guess, like Netherlands, there's countries that just are mixed of one country, but many languages within it, depending on the section, like the Netherlands. Yeah.
I mean, take a trip in Europe, your
Yeah.
cultural level. A guy like Don, I love Donnie. He's so cultured. He's like,
Yeah.
I called him warrior. I'm in India or I'm in whoa. He just flies around.
I would be too scared to go to India by myself. Just I'd be worried about taking a long flight and something happening to me.
He took to like Japan or China or something, and I was talking. I'm gonna land in India. I'm like, Donnie, just do me a favor. Don't eat there, man. I need some street food. And he's like, and he's a doctor. He's a doctor, right?
Yeah.
But he survived and he had a great
Yeah.
time. But he's very cultured. He contacted me and he was like, dude, do you want to do a podcast? I'm like, yeah, man, let's do it.
Yeah.
And we hit it. And all of a sudden, numbers just from day one to now just exploded in listeners and sponsorships with Mad Pinball and with Patreon supporters and people buying t-shirts. Now, Donnie, he walks on a show in US, people has We Are Pinball t-shirts. We have Contra with his and my face on those two characters.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
Yeah, he's also into retro gaming.
Mhm.
He also he's building his own pinball machine homebrew with Zelda. For these,
Yeah. Wow.
Legend, what's it called? Legend of
Legend of
with
Zelda.
past.
Oh, Link to the Past?
Link to the Past, yeah. For the
Oh, like
Super
the
Nintendo.
I guess you said 8-bit Zelda, like that the original Zelda style. I think. Have you seen it?
No, I have
I've never
seen.
seen it,
I've seen the camera in the background. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, yeah. He lives so close to Spooky Pinball, and I don't want to put him in the awkward situation when saying, Donnie, tell me about the upcoming 6 games. I don't
Yeah.
want to do that. So we just it's odd because before he was close with Spooky, we talked about everything, but now I respect it. I don't want to put him in the bad situation.
Yeah.
Spooky guys, when I talk with them, they don't even want NDA from me, nothing. They're like, we trust you. Here you go. Share everything. So cool. I love them.
I have a conference I need to go to in late May, and it's in Chicago. I'm like, I would love to take a trip, maybe visit Jersey Jack, rent a car and go over to Wisconsin to visit Spooky.
Yeah.
And maybe visit Don if he's not working. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
You have to do that.
Yes. Yeah.
Donnie, he takes, with welcome arms. So he had the midnight launch of Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that?
I tried to, you know what? I was texting him. I think he kind of was like, oh, come. I didn't get a spot because it was like the secret word. You have to tell him the secret word in a certain time frame, and he did it on a number of different channels, and he did it on Facebook, which maybe there was a lag. I should have listened to him on his YouTube live.
Yeah.
And then that would have been quicker, but I missed out on it. But he was like, "Oh, just come over." But I'm like, I got busy and stuff. It was a busy time of the year, but yeah, the next one I would love to. And even if I don't need a spot, I just to see him and hang out with cool people. I love it. How about you? Are you coming to the U.S. anytime soon?
I don't know. I want to move over there, but it's hard for me. I mean, every time we get new games like Pokemon, right? Let's say that I get this special media invite directly from Zach Sharp, come in and visit us and everything. But it's just, I have to take a week out of my schedule and my son and everything here. I mean, it's not easy. When I do that, it's expensive. But I will. I love America. I often said to my parents, why didn't I get born in the U.S.? But they're like, what's wrong with Denmark? I'm like, no, nothing. We're the happiest country in the world. And beautiful Viking-looking blondes and everything. I love it over here. It's beautiful. But I just love America because of Hollywood movies and, bigger than life, everything. And I have a lot of friends over there. So someday, maybe.
If you were to move here, would you, I guess, move more West Coast? Like you talk about Hollywood and your son, or do you have a certain place you would like to go to?
I was thinking about California, but Don says don't move over there. So now, I don't know. But my son, he does drama. He just made is it called theater in US? Theater?
Yep.
Yeah. He just did it. And at the end of the show, when he bowed, he's only 15, but people just got up and they applauded. And I was like, I started, getting tears in my eyes. He was just, the timing and everything, punchlines, everything was just, I was so proud. I was there when he rehearsed, so it was first time experience, but he wants this. So I told him it's almost impossible to be an actor today. It's really hard, But what can you do? That's his dream. So you have to support them, Yeah, right. You know how it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because you want your kids to be happy, and fulfilled, and not just take a job for money. So at least take some time to see if you could have your dream job. If not, maybe have like a fallback, a backup.
Yeah. He needs to. The reason why we don't move now to the U.S., I love U.S., that's actually because I want him to, have college and all that, have a, great foundation first, and then we can do it. And he's also, in his age, he's the best in karate here in Denmark. He's a champ, so yeah, that's nice.
You guys are into like judo, or do you do judo?
Karate.
Karate, okay.
He
Very
does
cool.
karate.
Okay.
I did Wing Chun Kung Fu back then.
Okay.
And he does karate, and he is, oh my God. Yeah, just gold.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah. You know what? When he was like 7 years old, I showed him Bloodsport, 1988, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
7-year-old kid, you shouldn't do that. But I did it. He watched it, and he enjoyed that movie, and he was like, I want to do this. I'm like, what? I want to learn how to do this. You want to do karate? Yeah. Okay. So next day he start training, and now he's 15, champ. and now he he researched how to become a movie star and all that. And then he sees these videos where Van Damme, he stops a director on his way out from a restaurant and he says, "Hey, I'm Jean-Claude Van Damme. I want to do movies." And this director, he says, "Go away, man." And then he does his splits and he kicks over his head and everything. And then he gets this gig and comes into movies. And my son is like, "Dad, if I do this karate stuff, then it can be on my, what's it called? We called it CV here in Denmark.
Yeah, resume, CV. Yep,
Yeah. Black belt karate boy.
Absolutely.
I'm so proud, man. Filled with love and happiness. I love it. Love it.
I remember there was some movie, you may remember, I don't, where Jean-Claude Van Damme, he wasn't like headlining the movie, but he was a villain. And he was wearing like a white suit. And that was the first time he did his like spin kick. And I'm like, who is that? Because we were watching, we always liked like American Ninja in the 80s, all those like karate movies. But there was some movie where he was the villain. I remember he had like dark sunglasses and like a white suit, and he just did his spin kicks, and he had a little part, but it was like, who is this guy? Like, holy cow.
He's
I have to
called
look it up.
No Retreat, No Surrender.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and I love to have pinball machines like that. Also, a movie called Big Trouble in Little China. Do you know
Sure.
that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah. Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Yeah, Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie wasn't a hit when it came out, but can you imagine that as a pinball machine? I
Yeah.
actually talked with David Van Ness. That
Yeah.
was so fun. I'm like, you need to do this game. Oh yeah.
Oh, or even like I loved Eddie Murphy of the Eddie Murphy movies like Golden Child and like the humor and I don't know, he'd probably be very expensive to do voiceovers, but he was amazing and what he did for the comedy industry and movies. But I would love a cool Eddie Murphy movie pinball.
He's a legend, man.
Yeah.
For me, all day long, Conan the Barbarian. Commando, Predator, Total Recall, Terminator 1, Terminator 2.
It's a treasure trove of potential.
Oh man, I want it so badly, but he is just unbelievably expensive. I mean, so freaking expensive. But he did back in 2003. He was in the Terminator 3 pinball machine. When you start a new game, shoot here and here.
Yeah,
so good. Oh man,
I think it's maybe it's one of those things where like you just get someone to like work him, like I don't know, like someone who knows him to say, hey, give him like an explanation of like this is a situation. There's no way if you don't come down, there's all these people who would be messing out on this awesome thing that you could provide. And give a little bit, like see the big picture.
They made Predator. Have you played Predator?
No. It's like nowhere here. It's super rare.
Yeah, it's here in Sweden. It's just 1 hour from me. So they made that, but they just couldn't include him in the game. So you see Arnold from his neck down. You don't hear his voice.
Yeah.
So you don't hear "Get to the chopper." You don't get that. So. You have the music, so you emerge into the gameplay, but I just imagine how it would be to have Arnold in there because he has a huge following. People at our age, we love those 80s action guys. Sly, man, Sylvester Stallone. I talked with Don yesterday. He was like, don't tell this to anyone. I'm like, all right. I want to do a Rambo game.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I'm like, sure, Don, I'm not going to say it to anyone. I said, let's include Rambo 2 also. He's like, yeah, that could be awesome.
Yes. Wait, the two was Russia? I'm trying to remember. Where was he in 2? Or Vietnam?
I think he was in Thailand or something.
Oh, okay.
3, the third one was in Russia.
Okay, like
with
Afghanistan.
That, Russian helicopter.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man. Well, thanks so much for talking. It was awesome, Jengis.
Of course, Alan.
Of
course, man. Of course. Yeah. So, guys, if you want more of my stuff, it's on YouTube, Retrocengo. Come in and visit. And also, we are Pinball on any podcast show, so you can listen to my co-host, Don. Don is a great, great guy, ambassador for Pinball. He's a happy kid. You should have Don in here.
Oh, yeah,
Happy guy.
absolutely.
Please invite him. He will say yes. He's such a nice guy. Absolutely. Man.
Yes, and Cengiz, thanks again, and yeah, check We Are Pinball out, and lover of retro games and pinball and everything fun and enjoying life. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed all our discussions on video games. Our let us know other games that really affected you, and leave a note in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Rocky 4. Oh my gosh.
The music.
Yes, yes.
Come on, man.
How when I work out, Rocky 4 soundtrack. the training montage.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Or like even like the where Drago is running around and he gets injected with the steroids.
It's cool, man.
Yeah.
Like my son is, Dad, where do we get this motivation from? I'm gonna show you motivation.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the 80s.
That's right.
Good old days, man. Good old days.
I know.